Welcome, ladies, to the panel, and thank you very much for taking out the time.
Thank you so much, Musa, for the invitation to speak here, also for Berkeley. So my name is Kirsten Westholter. I'm a business strategist, and I'm actually the founder of Rising Phoenix Consultancy. What I also do is I work and connect consultants and also clients to a powerful AI application. And actually, it's revolutionizing really the world of consultancy. So I'm very excited about that one. I'm originally from the Netherlands, and I moved to Dubai about like 5 years ago. And I truly left behind a very stable life to do something completely else here. And what I really like to do is inspiring other people to step outside their comfort zones, to light their spark and follow their heart. I have a few life mottos as well. One is definitely die with memories, not dreams. And the other one, which is very related, I think, to our topic today, is learn, continuously learn. I love to learn something small, even if it's like small every day. Quickly, in addition to my professional life, I'm actually also an amateur poet. What I do is I look at what's happening around me and I write about it. It's a way to deal with things in my life. And as you can see, my company's name is Rising Phoenix, and I've truly embraced the legend of the Phoenix. And I believe that you always have a choice. And I heard this from the other women earlier today, but I do think you always have a choice to change things and to rise from the ashes. I think that's amazing. My introduction.
That's amazing introduction. Let's take the introduction of Jelena, and then we will come back to you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jelena, and I come from Serbia. Before I came here to Dubai, I used to be a lawyer for 6 years. I'm holding a bachelor and master degree in human rights, and this is the right conference for me, I guess. I'm working in Emirates Airline for the last 10 years. However, I never lost the touch with the law. I'm still in touch with my colleagues back home in Serbia, giving them external advices as a legal advisor in different violation of human rights, especially children's human rights and women's human rights, and divorce cases. So
that's amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing, because we were really excited when we come across your profile, that how you transform your career. And today I'm going to ask a lot of things from you. So let's go back to Christine. And Christine, what are your thoughts of the day?
What I would like to share actually with the audience is my thoughts about a theme related to balance for life, which was our main theme for our discussion. And I would like to talk about resilience today. I think resilience is undoubtedly connected with balance. And whenever I think about resilience, and I don't know if that's the case for other people as well, but I think about nature. And I think about like a willow tree, I think about a river, I think about a colony of ants. And what strikes me the most is their ability to actually bounce back, and also their ability to already have a process in place to do so. Because if you look at a tree like a willow tree, those have like very strong roots, and their whole structure is meant to bend with the wind. And a parallel with that is actually we as human beings. I really also believe that we human beings are capable to change, and we do it all the time. The only problem is often we have expectations, and we struggle at the moment that these expectations are not going the way as we had hoped them to go. And also at the moment that other people are trying to influence us or are trying to make us change. And that is also in human nature. We resist being changed. And I truly believe that the more energy we spend in these negative things, in our anger, our frustration, the less we're capable to move on from that stage. And for me, and I think for a lot of other people as well, it is again to find our own roots and to find a way to be resilient and to cope with a lot of things we're dealing with. And I do believe we can learn to be stronger and wiser, and also learn from our experiences to get stronger. Me, myself, I have experienced also a lot of setbacks during my life. And I do believe, again, that I had a choice to go a certain direction, and other people do as well. And I always see three key themes if I talk about resilience. And these are self-care, focus on what you can control in life, but also listening to your inner voice. And in the remaining part, I would like to share some of my experiences and to make that clear to you. So I was born in the Netherlands, in a very small town, quite already a long time ago. And I had a bit of a struggle in my childhood. My parents were quite a bit older. My father was 15 years older than my mom, was not able to work anymore because of his disease. He had a heart disease, and my mom suffered from polio when she was a child. So my parents were home 24/7, like constantly also trying to influence me, and of course wanting the best, but it didn't always get out as like getting the best out of it. So what happened is that my dad wanted to push me to university, for instance, and I always had like certain friends around me with a much lower education. My father didn't want me to have these type of friends, and it was so heavy in our family that he actually used his disease and my mom's disease against me, just to control me. That didn't happen, and I'm still here, and I think I achieved a lot, but it was a hard thing. And also during later stages in life, I lost my former father-in-law in a fire in his place. And at one moment, I also found my mom back in her place, owning only the clothes she was wearing at that time. She threw out all her stuff because she was suffering from schizophrenia and some other mental disorders. I had to get her admitted in a nursing home. And it is what you do. I don't have like real family in the Netherlands. I have a lot of friends, but at the end, it's me making decisions. And fast forward, moving to October last year, getting a call from the nursing home where she was at that moment. My mother fell a few days before, but it was like quite serious. Day after, I had to jump back on the plane to the Netherlands, just in time to have just that connection with her. A couple of days later, she died. Reason why I'm telling this is not for people to have pity with me, but just also to explain that I have a choice how to deal with these type of situations. People always tell me like, oh, you're so strong and I can never do this kind of thing. I have something like, you have a choice and there is no other way than to deal with these things and not get stuck in a kind of, how do you say that, a victimized role. That's also how I see it, how I started my own business here. So 5 years ago, I came to Dubai. I left everything I had in the Netherlands, practically. I had a 20-year-old relationship, didn't survive. I had a very stable career as a consultant. I wanted to do something different. So at the age of 46 years old, I started my own company. And I believe we as women can do that. If we believe in ourselves, if we follow also our inner drive, and it's not always easy. And also when Corona hit last year, I was just in the phase of building up my business. And boom, Corona. And I had to change my business model and like do everything I could to restart. It's also something I teach actually to startups and to think without a box, not even like inside a box. But I think we can all do that, and we can all create that change. There are a lot of ideas also in women, and if only we are able to listen to our inner voice, our inner drive, and this inner voice is actually very positive. It does give you ideas, it does give you options to create. And to conclude this, I would really like to tell the audience, try to ignore that other voice. There's always that other voice that says, nah, you can't do that, or you have never done such a thing. How can you be successful in that? Well, I actually learned things about myself that I'm actually good at some things, and I had never imagined I could do that. So believe in yourself, do the things you want to do, listen to that inner voice, and please also just focus on the things you can control instead of all the things you can't control. I would like to conclude with that one, Musa.
That's really superb. Your thoughts are really encouraging, and our audience, I think, got a great value from your life story. And you're absolutely right that it's your choice that how you take the life, and your decisions bring your success. And with these thoughts, let's move to Jelena and see like what she has for the day.
Thank you so much, Musa. I would just like to come back on our subject, balance for life, which is really a good subject towards me because I used to be a lawyer, and I'm still doing this job just externally as a legal advisor, as well work for Emirates Airline, traveling the world, and growing my social network on Instagram. I have a lot of followers. So between those three, I'm trying to balance, and I can tell it's going perfectly well. I would just like to come back for first in real profession as a lawyer. I would like to encourage all the women to follow their dreams. Maybe at the beginning it might be hard. Maybe some people won't support your decision. However, if you believe in yourself and you can do anything, you can achieve anything. And as well, why I wanted to make this balance between my professions, two professions now. My lawyer experience for such a long time was a bit hard on me because I had different cases, different life stories, which were not easy. And then I will bring it sometimes with myself in my private life. And then I wanted to do something which is going to give me more space for myself to educate myself more, maybe to travel the world and still to stick to my first profession. That's a lawyer profession. So this is how I'm balancing for the last 10 years, and it's going amazing.
That's great. Jelena, how you balance the life? For example, you were a lawyer, you're still a lawyer, but you transform yourself into for Emirates Airline. There is a absolutely different structure, different job requirement. So when you were thinking about this transformation, what were your thoughts and how you successfully balance it?
Well, my thoughts were, first of all, I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to see how other people live, and through my profession, to see how the human rights functioning in different parts of the world, which did me a lot. Then I had the opportunity to travel the whole world. Before I travel somewhere, I will try to see how the human rights function in the other countries. So maybe that to give me experience, more experience, like life experience, so I can use it back home, where I'm as well doing my legal advices with my colleagues back home. So how the other system functioning, how they protect children's human rights, how they protect women's human rights. how they are dealing with divorces, with violation, domestic violence, like not just the physical violence, as well bullying, and how the women are coping with this in other countries, and how it can be implemented in my country or maybe in our legal system. So this is how I'm basically balancing very good. Sometimes the time zones are different. However, I'm really managing well. And how I grew my social media, especially Instagram, is that people probably follow me because of my travels. That was interesting for them, not as much as to be a lawyer, but however, that's how I grow my network. So many people wanted me to sponsor them, to talk about them, so they can grow their network as well. So, which is going very well. So I'm kind of balancing between those three. And this job, what I'm doing now, gives me a lot of free time, like days off, where I can do like my legal stuff and grow my social network even more and help the people to promote them and to hear the voice.
That's amazing. So, as a Berkeley, me and MS Women, Voice of a Women, we always try to raise this for developing countries where we saw that there is a child abuse, child labor, then the woman has no access to education and health care, and physically is not protected, no justice, divorce take 2-3 years, and life becomes really difficult. So, would you like to say some words for these countries, what they need to do and why they should take it seriously to resolve these matters?
Yes, certainly. I would just like to give a message that women shouldn't wait until the last resort to ask for the lawyer or ask for the help from the government, because this is like the last resort. I understand that. But by that time, the children will suffer. And all this domestic violence, I'm talking about physical and psychological violence, it can affect actually in that term. So I would just like to give a message to all women in the world. There is always a solution. There is always a hope. If it's not by the lawyer, then maybe like some other institution in the countries. So all different countries, they have a different system. Yes, I understand that. But just because the women in the less developed countries, they don't have maybe access to education or to good health care, it shouldn't be like just for them to stay at home. They should find a way, especially now with internet, to seek the help before it's too late. Because once it's too late, the damage will be more.
It will be too much. And I'm sure that they can approach you also on Instagram and for any guidance, because of course you are a lawyer and you understand these things better. So let's move back to Christine. You have an amazing life, and what is your advice for the upcoming women that if they want to transform their career from for employee to employer, what do and don'ts they should keep in their brains? This is my first question.
Okay.
I'm going to have another question, but after this one.
Sure. It's quite a tough question because I don't think there is like one answer for everyone. It also really depends on like your character. Like what can be a big step for one person is maybe a very small step for another. What I would like to advise these women to do, look for support, either a coach or like a person maybe close to you where you can really talk about these kind of things and who inspires you. And it is actually either dramatically stepping outside your comfort zone, which is maybe not easy for everyone. Otherwise, like a step-by-step approach. And I also want to tell these women, like if Route A is not working, there's always a Route B or another way to get there, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the quickest way. And also, maybe in addition to that, Musa, women that have a background, an entrepreneurial background, yes, they often have an advantage if their parents were like that or were expats. They're used to certain things, but again, even people who don't have that background can get there just with the right mindset and an open mindset.
That's amazing. And the second thing is that you got an opportunity to live in Dubai, so you come across with a multinational crowd, and most of the crowd is from the developing countries where husbands are not supportive. Women is really depressed and suppressed. They can't do whatever they want. So in that scenario, what is your advice about the mental health? How they should handle their stresses, and same time they can keep delivering to their family?
Again, a very good question and a quite deep question as well. Yes, because there is such a cultural mix here. I do see that there are, again, I like to talk about the support systems, because I do think there is a lot of support out there, but not everybody knows. And there are a lot of female networks here where you can see a variety of backgrounds. So also culture-wise. For me, it's sometimes, of course, hard to say, like, I don't have certain background in a certain culture. Yes, I have a lot of friends and contacts from different countries and cultures, but sometimes you still have that handicap to completely connect. What you do see is that you can connect with cultures also via other means, like, for instance, again, poetry or other cultural expressions to get closer to people. I just want to give you one example there, but for instance, I had a poetry night some weeks ago, or already like probably 6 weeks ago, and I managed to get very close connections with some Arab ladies just because I was sharing my emotions, which is not very natural to call it Western European women. We're more like, yeah, I don't know, more closed. Yes, more closed, yes. So, but again, I would say in summary, yeah, please look for a support system, maybe in your own culture or group, but also definitely outside there. There is a lot.
That's amazing. So what are your closing thoughts of the day?
What my closing thoughts are indeed like also very short. Always believe in yourself, and nothing is weird. So please go out and try things. We all have certain risks to take. Yeah, that is, I think, the main thing that I want to tell people.
That's amazing. I think you have summarized your life story into a very simple and deep sentence. With this, I want to thank you for joining us, and I'm looking forward to have you in my new programs.
Thank you so much, Musa. Thank you.
Let's move forward to Jelena and take her closing remarks also for the day.
Yes, I would like to thank you for putting me as a part of this big conference. And I'm honored to be with all these beautiful, intelligent, and amazing women. And I would just like to say the message to all women: you can be whatever you want. You just need to believe in yourself. Thank you.
Amazing. With this lovely message for the audience, I want to thank you for joining us, and I'm looking forward to see you in our other programs. Till then, you take care of yourself.